Welcome back to the 30-day low-fat vegan weight loss challenge. Today is day 22. If you're new here, follow the playlist in the description box to catch up on all the daily videos and start your own 30-day challenge. Today I'm going to do a bit of a rapid fire Q&A and answer some of the questions from the comment section of my most recent videos. I figure if one person has a question, the answer may be helpful to several of you watching and participating in the challenge. Does tofu count as beans since it's made from soybeans? No, tofu is much higher in fat. I do eat tofu once or twice per week, but I'm already at my goal weight range and maintaining that. So if you're in the weight loss phase, I don't recommend eating much tofu as it's high in fat. Lentils are only 1% fat by comparison, so I would definitely stick with that or any other type of bean. Tofu is also more processed than eating whole beans as well. Generally, when you process a food, it increases the calorie density. So if you really want to keep eating some tofu, you might want to do an experiment and try going without it for 2 or 3 weeks and compare the difference in your weight loss progress. If you're still losing half a pound to a pound per week when you are eating tofu, then you're on track and the tofu hasn't slowed your progress, so go for it. Next question. Do you cook like this for the whole family? I sometimes find it exhausting to cook separately for my husband, who eats meat, only consumes vegetables in homeopathic quantities, and mainly loves unhealthy food. Any ideas? Okay, so I don't recommend forcing this way of eating on anyone, just like I wouldn't want anyone to push what they eat on me. But there are certain meals that are easy to customize for each family member so that you're not completely cooking separate meals all the time, which takes up, so much time and creates a million dishes to wash after dinner. So pasta is a good one. If he wants to use a less than healthy pasta sauce, you can use that one on his meal and add in whatever he wants on top of his pasta. If he doesn't want all the veggies that you're adding to your pasta, then just keep those for your plate. There are the fake vegan meats as well, which aren't particularly healthy, but it's better than adding, animals to your plate, especially with all the cholesterol and saturated fat. So you could also add the vegan meat crumbles to his pasta sauce. That would be good. Okay, same with the lettuce wraps. You can make the filling out of lentils and onions and then add barbecue sauce to his and vegan cheese. And if he doesn't want the lettuce part, you can use wheat or corn wraps. So you're preparing the filling that both of you eat and basing two different meals off of that. So hopefully this makes sense. You're just basically tweaking it to make yours the healthier version, and you're, drizzling some higher fat sauces on his to make it more palatable for him. Okay, next, this is more of a comment than a question, but I'd like to address it. So, my biggest struggle is that I am never satisfied with breakfast, and I have eaten a lot. I can't stop snacking throughout the morning and afternoon. I am full after dinner, but it's almost like I have the issue of morning grazing rather than night snacking. It's so frustrating because it interferes with my productivity during the day. I feel like I'm always hungry. Okay, if you've watched my recent videos in this series, you'll know that I promote the idea of experimenting with your meals to see what works and what doesn't. My first thought when reading this comment was to ask you if you're eating sweet foods for breakfast. Oatmeal with fruit is super healthy, but even with that, some people do better eating greens for breakfast. And you might think that's crazy, but it is worth giving it a try. So a rice, veggies, and bean dish, or a baked potato with steamed broccoli. Run the experiment and see if the cravings for snacking subside. Or maybe you're waiting too long to eat in between meals. There are no rules as to when you can eat. You might eat 3 meals and snack on fruit and then be done with your last food of the day at 5 p.m. And if you go to bed early, there's nothing wrong with this. If you stay up late, it's likely that you'll end up getting hungry or feeling like snacking. Again, timing of your meals is another thing to experiment with. Okay, next question. What was my highest weight? I don't really talk about my own weight much. I like to focus on the food, but I know some people are curious, so I will start sharing more of my own experiences going forward. So I'm 5'2.5". my highest weight was around 142 pounds. It may have been slightly higher as I wasn't really weighing myself often at the time. And at my height, since I am pretty short, every 5 pounds is noticeable. So when I lost the weight initially, my lowest weight was 103 pounds. And I've just had two kids in 2 years, my daughter in 2022, and I had my son in 2023. And my current weight is 106, which I am good with. All right, I don't want this video to get too long, but if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask and have a beautiful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.